welcome back to the TIFC YouTube channel. I'm Coach Indy. Today we're going to be talking about a player who, for me, really goes under the radar at the club he's at. He hasn't really had a major moment at the club, hasn't really had a sort of full season or even a half a season where he's been a sort of key influential player at the club, but he has got potential to explode and be sort of a real regular, even possibly a captain material as well, potentially. I won't give you too many more clues just yet. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do so. It does help the channel grow that little bit further and reach that few more people. It does help me and support me that little bit further as well. If you haven't watched last week's episode, there is a link in the description below. Go and check that out after you watch this episode. Really, really good watch, and see if you agree or disagree with that player. Let's jump into it.
I just want to show what can't blame you. You're my savior. You're staring up beyond the sky. Oh.
So Mason Holgate is an Everton player. He's also had some previous clubs as well. He initially started his career at Barnsley before Everton picked him up. And then when he was initially at Everton, he went on loan to West Brom to gain some experience. And now he's a regular player at Everton. So Mason Holgate is predominantly a centre-back. He's played there for large parts of his career. He has alternatively played right back as well. He's more of a makeshift right back, I would suggest. He's not necessarily comfortable there. However, he can do a job. And he has once or twice played as a holding midfielder. I think more so just to sort of cover if there's injuries in that position. However, what I will say, he's probably got the discipline, the energy and the mobility to play in that position for Everton. So moving on to some of Holgate's attributes, and we just touched on a couple. We'll talk about a few more. So for me, his pace and his athleticism is his two main attributes. He really can cover the ground, get his team out of trouble, get himself out of trouble as well. I think one of his things that are really underrated is his passing, but in particular his short-range passing in terms of finding and slotting passes into small sort of passing lanes. His leadership qualities is shining sort of more month on month. I can see that whenever I watch Everton. And he's actually deceivingly quite aggressive. He's obviously quite short for a centre-back, but he's actually quite aggressive. He doesn't hold back. He likes to put in a challenge. Does like his aerial duels as well. So that sort of kind of covers his attributes as a footballer. Moving on to Holgate's age, and he's only 24, so really good age. He's probably got another 1 to 2 moves in him potentially. And if someone did want to take a chance on him, they've got a chance to have some resale value there as well. He's English as well, and we'll talk about that a bit further in the next part. So Holgate was purchased for £2 million, which was an absolute snippet. Although what we'll say it was sort of 4 or 5 years ago, so he was a relatively unknown player. I'll say his current market value is around 30 million. He's obviously getting more exposure in the Premier League, playing more regularly, playing for a world-class manager, playing for a very, very decent-sized club here in the Premier League. He's yet to play any games for England. However, what I will say is if he continues on this path in terms of playing regularly, possibly if Everton can squeeze into European positions as well, then obviously that's going to enhance his chance of making that breakthrough into the England setup. So let's get into it. This is my prediction for Mason Holgate. Now, time recording is January 2021. That is my prediction date. In terms of move date, I'm predicting he's going to move in the summer of 2023, which is 2.5 years away, so a bit of time yet, for around 50 million. Now, there's a couple of reasons behind that. First thing is I think Everton are going to miss out on Europe this season. That will mean the board will go back Ancelotti even further, and that will help them progress into Europe the following season. On the back of that, he will obviously have a year of European experience playing for Everton in Europa League or the Champions League, and that will hopefully lead to him getting some appearances and sort of getting his debut for England under Gareth Southgate as well. So that's a couple of reasons behind why the time frame and the valuation is what it is.
So there you have it, guys. That's another episode of the Predicting Player Future Moves segment done. It's of course Everton's Mason Holgate. Now, for me, this is the one I'm sort of not so confident about. However, I can see a lot of potential in this lad. If he can get regular minutes and be a key influential player in the next year or two, if Everton are able to maybe qualify for Europe, playing for a big manager like Carlo Ancelotti as well, it's obviously going to enhance his reputation, and he's going to grow as a footballer because he'll be playing potentially European football, and maybe he even gets that call up to England as well. If you like this type of segment, please do give it a like And leave me a comment as well. Do you agree with my valuation? Do you agree that this player can potentially make that next step up, or do you think that's the level that Mason Holgate can reach? If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do so. We'll see everyone in the next episode.